Well, taking a live look right now at Capitol Hill, where today the U.S. Supreme Court will hear arguments against President Trump's order aiming to end birthright citizenship. Yesterday, Department of Homeland Security Secretary Kristi Noem was at the nation's capital testifying about the department's security budget. However, the hearing quickly turned to her department's handling of deportation efforts and immigration issues in general. Chicago Congresswoman Delia Ramirez was just one lawmaker to question Secretary Noem about the laws.
Do you believe you have the power to disregard congressional appropriations and unilaterally repurpose funds that have been duly appropriated by Congress? Yes or no?
Ma'am, we are not doing that.
So the answer to you is no. All right, well, it was a yes or no, Secretary. Let me continue.
Congresswoman Ramirez joining me now to talk more about that and what's going on with birthright citizenship. Now, as always, we appreciate you joining us. Thank you so much.
No, thank you for having me.
You know, let's just briefly touch on yesterday's hearing with Secretary Noem. I know last week, I believe it was, Congresswoman Underwood asked her some very specific yes and no questions, and Noem did not give a yes or no. She did the same with you yesterday. Is that frustrating to lawmakers?
It's frustrating and it's also alarming. There's some of these questions are pretty basic. Do you think that you have the authority to reappropriate funds that Congress has authorized to be used in a particular way? And if she can't answer that yes or no, then I think it follows up to the reality of why she is doing what she's doing. She doesn't even know what she signed and what she agreed to in her oath. And so it's alarming, it's frustrating, but I think it's very telling of what's happening under her leadership as the Secretary of Homeland Security.
Let's focus now on what's happening in the Supreme Court today regarding birthright citizenship, which, correct me if I'm wrong here, is protected in the U.S. Constitution. I know this is an important issue to you because you are a birthright citizen yourself, are you not?
I am a birthright citizen and very proud of that. My parents are Guatemalan immigrants. Today they're citizens, but when I was born they were undocumented because of this broken immigration system. Yes, today's Supreme Court, today the case is coming to the Supreme Court, and I think it's important to also note that just a few days ago I introduced legislation, the Born in the USA bill, to affirm what the 14th Amendment has already said. If you're born in the United States, you're a United States citizen.
Does it frustrate you at all to have to propose legislation to solidify what is already in the U.S. Constitution?
It's extremely frustrating and infuriating. If you've seen some of our committee hearings in other weeks, we've said, I don't know why I have to introduce amendments to affirm what's already in law. And furthermore, it's even more frustrating that we have members of Congress who are voting against what's already in law in amendments. I'll give you a quick example. We were in Homeland Security a couple weeks ago, and we had an amendment that would prohibit using funds to deport United States citizens. The Secretary yesterday says she's not deporting United States citizens. It's against the law. But I can't believe we have to actually introduce amendments to affirm that. It's infuriating, but it demonstrates where we are now. Well, you have an executive branch who has no problem breaking the law and using executive order to govern, bypassing Congress and attempting to bypass the courts as well.
I know a lot of people will definitely be paying close attention to what the Supreme Court eventually rules, both Democrats who maybe share your views and some Republicans who say that President Trump, in a sense, should be able to, do whatever he needs to do when it comes to immigration, which could set a whole, bunch of precedents in motion, too. So there is a lot to unpack. As always, we appreciate you joining us, though, to talk about these issues, and I'm sure that we will hopefully have other discussions in the future.
Thank you.